It's June 17th, 2020. And I found a new trail to explore. This is a vid about what is the best thing to do while during your time on this pale blue dot, and what should humanity do in general. Number one is we should survive and thrive the best ways we can find we know how and can discover. Number two, we should learn as much about our place here. Number three, part of thriving and surviving the best way is calling out liars, cheaters, and Ponzi schemes and grifters. Grifters. So, when you listen to people like Lawrence Krauss, a social leftist and a nihilist, when you listen to people like Sean Carroll, a leftist and a bubble boy, these people are defeatists. What will humanity find in 100 years, in 500 years, in 1,000 years? Now, admittedly, there are increased risks the more technology progresses, but there is a competition between technology and science that can help save our asses, and technology and science that can destroy our asses as such. And that competition is playing out right now with the current clusterfuck gain-of-function lab virus leak, apparently. But in any case, for the long term, it's important not to be nihilistic. So, it is amazing that we can look at our place on this planet and appreciate it. Appreciate all the ways that we exist and operate. Appreciate, our increasingly small place in this universe. But an animal, however small, who has great comprehension, well, maybe they can use that great comprehension to useful and effective means for survival and continuance. Nihilism. Nihilism is a huge problem. Nihilism. So, when you come to reject the dream world of the Christian meme set, the mysticism, when you come to reject the dream world of Islam, when you no longer believe that Lord Xenu caused thetans to be attached to the spirits of men so that you could then have to pay L. Ron Hubbard's associates a lot of money to become clear, when you no longer believe in all that stuff, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Well, one thing you shouldn't do is toss the evolved morality that is couched within religious contexts. That's one key thing, to not be a nihilist. Another thing you should do is realize that there are secular cults and secular Ponzi schemes that are in operation. And we need to not be deceived by those also. So, tell the truth, regardless. And many scientists are not willing to do that. Scientists who want to ensure that the cash flow continues. Cash flow. Scientists who put cash flow over truth are not scientists. So I hear the concerns of bubble boys like Michael Shermer, bubble boys like Dan Barker of the Freedom from Religion Foundation, bubble boys like Sam Harris, old fogey stuck in the mud, old farts, Richard Dawkins. They don't get it. They don't get that. A few things are in operation. Number one, once again, traditional religions couch evolved morality. Number two, postmodernism has a set of lies which are of a much greater negative impact in the West. The West means Western countries, Western culture countries, to include Australia, whatever, Western culture. The downstream of Greek democracy, the downstream of the Enlightenment. Postmodernism is a threat to that. So is Marxism, cultural Marxism, and political Marxism, both joined together. A threat to the Western Enlightenment. The Pareto principle. Let the innovators thrive. That's how to let humanity survive best. Let the innovators thrive. Let the hard workers and overachievers operate freely. Freedom of speech, freedom of association. Largely freedom of commerce, but when countries cheat, you have to take action. So when a government is artificially uplifting their industry and you're not, well, that's an uneven kind of cheating situation. So you have to adjust for that. So we are in a pale blue dot. We are kind of like intelligent moss on the surface of a thin crust that in the past history has swung into snowball earths and into super wet alternatives. We swing both from the large dinosaur era, where it was wet and CO2 was a lot higher, to snowball earths. We could have a mega volcano erupt, and that would probably swing us into snowball earth unless we could suck up the CO2. Plus, in 500 million years, the sun will be 10% brighter, thereby causing the oceans to boil off. And then there's the eventual sloughing off of the outer shell of our sun. And so, what's humanity going to do to survive now that we have this great knowledge, this great power to understand? Should we take the Lawrence Krauss nihilist view? No, that's inappropriate. The Lawrence Krauss nihilism is defeatist. And the Dan Barker, Michael Shermer, Richard Dawkins approach is stupid also. These people don't understand human nature. These people don't understand evolution. These people don't understand facts, reality. They jumped, for those who were more associated with the religious or who have a reactionary approach to traditional religion, they jumped They essentially have a a secular bastard religion going on, which is all about kind of resource acquisition for them. Resource acquisition for them. Whatever they can say to make cash as opposed to speaking the truth. Do you think the cash flow of Michael Shermer would still be flowing along if he was willing to say the truth about religion being valuable from an evolutionary and human nature perspective after all? How about Richard Dawkins? What if he came out as someone who would say the truth? How would that help his career, late in it as he is? No, he has to pay lip service to the mob. Dan Barker, what would happen to him if he decided that his foundation is basically evil? We don't need freedom from religion. We need freedom from lies, and there's plenty of lies in secular culture. And freedom, we need freedom from postmodernism. We need freedom to embrace our evolved heritage as inherently reproductive sexual animals. We need freedom to do that. We need freedom to embrace life. We need freedom to give life. We need freedom to find an inherently reproductive sexual partner of the so-called opposite gender, compatible gender, for making babies without fear, without being shamed for being who we are. Yeah, we need freedom to not be shamed, to be shamed for being who we are as 1.2 billion year evolved sexual animals. Emergent properties, yes. Memes, which are there and when less so present in other animals. We've got lots of memes running in our little brains. But memes are an evolutionary process also. Commie, hippie, old fart Daniel Dennett did come up with the dangerous idea that religion is a natural phenomenon, but that idea cuts more ways than Mr. Dennett, Dr. Dennett, will admit to. Probably. He'll go just as far enough to admit that it's natural, but not to admit that there's some damn useful evolved morality, good morality, couched within religious contexts. Yes, there's also bad morality couched within a religious context. For example, the amplification of out-group morality. But and we need freedom to say that America was founded on Western Enlightenment values which ruminated in the hearts of the founders and led to an end of universal slavery. And the British Royal Navy helped. 365,000 Northern Army soldiers died during the Civil War to end universal slavery. Abraham Lincoln, the people who wrote the Declaration, the people who started America. Yes, there was slavery, but there was also a situation where Britain wanted to continue slavery, and the Americans kind of wanted to separate from it. So there was a compromise, and there was a gradual moving away from it. And then when push came to shove, there was a civil war. So, where's my reparations for the fact that pink-skinned people died to end the universal slavery? Not that I'm asking for reparations, but I'm saying since we're in the reparation mode, but with regard to reparations and cash from the government, welfare has destroyed the black family. Welfare from Democrat welfare Marxist socialist welfare, destroyed the black family. Replaced the father with the state. And when you replace the father with the state, you get destruction. You get destruction. Human babies absolutely need both a mother and a father. The rage of the left, the rage of the Stonewall warriors, the rage they feel inside, the rage of Antifa. That all comes from the fact that these people have been lied to about human nature, about their own nature. They lie to themselves, they lie to others, and they are violent. They are angry. They're angry because they're chumps, they're fools, they're tools. They have a bad meme set running in their brains. And you can't be happy if you separate. Whoop, I slipped a little bit. You can't be happy if you separate yourself from the tree upon which you sprouted. So, yeah. So anyway, that's the situation. Value free speech. I'm a free speech fundamentalist. First Amendment is important. The Second Amendment protects the First. These past few weeks have proved that in spades. The Second Amendment protects not only the First Amendment, but a number of other amendments. And all these violent, wastrel fucks, I think, are going to find themselves in court. Like in the Chaz zone. They're going to find themselves in court being sued. And the cities involved who enabled the violence are going to be sued also. It's not going to all be one way forever. But it is sad. It is sad that the courts serve as an enabling force for the leftist death cult. That is sad. But it's not just all about discrimination, it's about supremacy. Back in the day it was about, okay, don't kick me out of my apartment because I want to have a permanent wank partner of the same gender. Don't kick me out of my apartment or block me from my employment. And now they've added on gender dysphoria enablement. But it's not about employment and a living space of accommodation. It's about supremacy. It's about changing the definitions of the word sex. It's about changing the definition of the word marriage. So it's about lies. Lies. A lie is a lie. Just because some dumb shit judge puts on a robe and says something doesn't change facts. For example, a tomato. Tomato is a fruit, not a vegetable. That's one big example from the yesteryear. Humans can't change their gender. Tomatoes are fruit. Humans can't change their gender. Gay marriage is not a thing. Gay sex is not a thing. It's wankery. So, that's the insanity of humans. And then we got the gain of function virus research, which puts the entire planet at risk. Dumb shit scientists just trying to get money, not being careful. Dumb shit scientists. The word scientists and dumb shit do go together. That's sad. Is it sad? How sad is it? Well, it's also true that science can save us, but not dumb shit science. Climate hysteria. Science is not going to save us. That's going to kill us. Climate hysteria. So you need to separate true science from non-science. So anyway, that's the situation. The situation on this pale blue dot. The fight for truth. The fight to call out cheaters and schemes and liars. That's why America's the best. I'm going to get myself a American flag and put it on my car. USA #1. USA #1. 100%. So, that's it. All right. There's a pretty trail, I admit.